Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel. Happy Monday. And in today's episode, I've gone live specifically to tell you that today, if you are an online seller in the UK or even an online seller globally that is selling into the UK, you should contact your courier company today. Over the weekend, between Saturday and Sunday, the UK or parts of the UK were sort of heavily battered by this snowstorm and were, covered with significant snowfall. Here in Manchester, we got a little bit Saturday morning, but by Saturday afternoon, it had pretty much gone. And I'm looking out the window now. There's no snow, there's blue skies, the sun's out. You would think there's no problems at all if you're in Manchester. However, that's not the full story. I've got friends and family down in sort of Wolverhampton, Birmingham, Oxford. The Midlands in general has taken a huge battering of snowfall, and that is a problem. A lot of the big courier companies in the UK will have hubs strategically placed around the UK for quick dispatch, and which makes the most sense. Now, Birmingham is perhaps one of the best places to put a hub. You're right in the middle of the country. You're sort of 2 hours from London, 2 hours from Manchester, and you covering the most bases. So a lot of courier companies will have their, or not, if not their major hubs, they'll have big hubs around the Birmingham area. Birmingham got absolutely covered in snow. And that's the problem, is that you could be looking out your window right now and thinking, oh yeah, there's no problems. But you have to think on a sort of more of a national level. If you're sending something to London, chances are it's going to go through or pass through a Birmingham hub. Likewise, if you're in London sending to Scotland, it may pass through a Birmingham hub or somewhere in the Midlands on its way. And that's where there's going to be delays and backlogs. So what I urge you to do, like I say, if you're an online seller in the UK or an online seller elsewhere that sells into the UK, call your courier companies today or send them an email. Most of the big ones, I assume, would have already been in touch with you. But if you haven't heard anything, you need to get in touch with them for the reason that you need to let your customers know if they are going to start expecting delays. Like I said, not only, like I said, we aren't, as far as I'm aware, we're not due any more bad weather over the next few days, but this backlog has a knock-on effect. So my advice to you right now is to get in touch with your courier company, make sure everything's fine. Chances are you'll get lucky and, there'll be no issues. But I suspect there's going to be quite a few companies out there that will be having maybe 1 or 2 day delays due to a backlog at the depot. So with that, you need to bear that in mind, and then you need to start contacting the customers that have been affected. Remember, if you're selling on eBay, on Amazon, this is the sort of thing which can protect your feedback, your seller ratings, because whilst most people, I'd like to think, are decent and aware of what's going on, some of them aren't. And, if they can find a reason to email you and say, oh, you said this would be delivered on Monday and it's now Wednesday and it's not arrived. If you can say, yes, it's because we had a lot of snow, you fool, and, explain things that, don't use those words, obviously. There's a reason I don't do customer service. But yeah, basically don't take for granted that because the weather is fine where you are, that it's fine where your customers are, or on one of the routes that your depot or your courier is going to use in order to fulfill your order. Bear that one in mind. It's one of those, I'm sure we have Canadians laugh at us because, we've had probably less than a foot, maybe a foot-ish in Birmingham way. And, flights are cancelled, things, everything comes to a standstill. And that's the other thing as well. Like I say, if you're in America, Australia, in Europe, and you're sending items to the UK and it's coming by air, bear in mind again that, there could be delays getting freight into the country. I know Birmingham Airport was shut for a period, may still be shut, I'm not sure. Flights are getting delayed. And as much as it does sound pathetic, like we've had a little bit of snow, the country can't handle it. We have to accept that is what it is, and we have to react to it. That's the key. We have to, don't just assume, oh, my customers are great, they'll figure it out, they'll know why it's delayed. No, they will assume the worst and immediately start filing PayPal disputes and everything else. Keep them as up to date as possible. If you have the ability to, on your store, on your eBay store, put like a little notice up explaining the situation with your courier. On your website, you should do the same. Put a banner up or something just saying, due to the weather we had, do expect a day or two delay after you've spoken to your courier to get the full sort of scope of the situation. That is basically the best advice that I can give you right now. I remember being in this exact same position, 7 or 8 years ago, when we had huge snowfall, and basically it was around this time of year. Actually, I think it was a little bit early, but it was bad, and that snow stayed until January, and a lot of deliveries didn't make it before Christmas. And this was the thing that I'm saying, is that this isn't too bad on a scale. You know, deliveries, we're only on the 11th at the time of recording this. Your deliveries should still get there for Christmas, but please let your customers know. If you've spoken to your courier and there is going to be a delay, let the customers that are going to be affected know. Put something up on your website, whatever it may be. Just communicate as effectively as possible. Send out an email blast to your list. Put it on social media. Try and make it as hard as possible for someone to ignore or to not know about your situation. That's the quick video for today. I wanted to get something out because I felt, if you're new to selling online, if this is new, a new thing for you to come across, you might just, again, it's totally understandable. You might look out your window and go, oh, we're not affected. It's fine. Like I said, you have to think of the bigger logistical picture here in the UK. We're a small country, and that means we can get things to and from places quite quickly. But like I said, if one of those major areas gets stopped or slowed down significantly, it will have a knock-on effect. Likewise, the same with Scotland as well. I know Scotland took a bit of snow over the weekend. So again, get in touch with your couriers, find out which. They'll usually have a list of postcodes that have been most affected. Bear that one in mind. All your local deliveries, if you're not affected, should be fine. But again, think bigger, think wider. That's the big message for today. So with that said, really quick video today. I wanted to get that out for you. Hopefully you've not been too badly affected, and yeah, just carry on as normal. React, put the best things in place that you can, and everything will be fine. With that said, if you enjoyed this video, hit me the thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and I'll catch you later on this week for another episode. I'll see you then.